Did you know that BO comes from bacteria all over the body? So why do deodorants stop at your pits? That's why we're so excited to tell you about Lumi. Lumi's founder, Dr. Shannon Klingman, met thousands of women who were concerned about odor below the belt. So she created Lumi, a pH-optimized aluminum-free deodorant that actually works and works everywhere. We're talking pits, underboobs, thigh folds, belly button, butt cracks, and feet. Lumi is perfect for everyday use and especially great for when you are on the go and need to freshen up. Lumi Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. My go-to scent is clean tangerine or toasted coconut. They both smell like summer.
As a special offer to our listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with the code REPS at lumideodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit lumideodorant.com and use the code REPS.
Oh, words are going to be hard for me.
Words are hard. Hey guys, welcome to Between the Reps with Brooke, Devon, and Jeanna. Brooke cannot join us today because she is heading to FitCon. Woohoo!
Yep, Salt Lake City FitCon.
Yeah. So, and Dev, you're struggling a little bit.
Just to put you on blast a lot.
Well, you look good.
Thanks.
You're faking it well.
It's the glasses.
Yeah. Okay.
And the
good.
Natural light. Everything else is? Huh?
Is it makeup from the night before, or did you reapply?
No, I washed that off.
Oh, good.
I used some cold water and splashed it on my face and
nice.
Tried to freshen up just so, because I actually I sat down about 10 minutes ago and turned the camera on and I looked at myself and I was like, oh shit.
Oh, I do that every time, but I can't go back and fix it.
Yeah, it was bad.
I figure at this point, what's the point, you know?
Well, that's true.
This is, you just get to a point where you're like, yeah, this is me.
This is me.
Yeah, this is me.
Good thing I'm funny.
Take it or leave it.
Steven just yelled, looking.
Oh. How's he doing?
He's doing quite a bit better.
Oh, good.
Yeah, good. He's doing a lot better. He's
good.
He's still in the brace. He's got 2 more months in it. Mm-hmm. But the pain is manageable now. And so that has helped a lot.
Good.
So, yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
He's doing quite a bit better. Yeah, it's been a big relief.
Yeah.
See him.
I can't even imagine.
To see him kind of act like himself again. Mm-hmm. It's been nice. So
is he getting sassy again?
He's a little.
That's when you know. Yeah. Yeah. That's when you know they're good again.
A little. Yeah.
No, they got a little sass to you.
You're right. Once they're sassy, you're like, okay, you're fine.
Yeah, they're fine. They're on their way up. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to get out yesterday for a little while, which was fun for my friend's birthday. And
what'd you do?
Well, what turned into what was supposed to be lunch and sitting by the pool, we did that. And then we went to a wine bar. And then we went home and had more wine. And then more people came. And then they ordered pizza. And I was at the point then where I definitely needed to eat. But I pulled out Jeanna and I was like, no, I don't want to eat. I don't eat gluten.
I know. You told me that this morning. I was dying. I don't eat gluten. I just poisoned myself with alcohol all day. Yeah. But I don't eat gluten.
But no pizza for me. Thanks.
I'm watching my figure.
those 4 bottles of wine really filled me up.
Yeah, those calories don't count. I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah. But it felt good to get out and see friends.
Yeah, it's good for you. Drink that Gatorade.
That was the kind of drive home that it was.
Oh man.
Gatorade and a bag of Doritos.
Oh, that'll bring you back.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there gluten in that?
In Doritos?
Is there?
No, they're corn chips.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what gluten is. Is it wheat?
It's wheat. It's wheat. It's from wheat being processed. So
okay. But if you have like celiac or something, you can't have any wheat at all, right? Or is it only processed wheat?
I think celiac there's like a spectrum, right? Like you can have it very severely to where you can't eat anything.
You can't have like food anywhere near, be prepared in the same area.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if it's all wheat or if it's just the gluten.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't either. I've never officially been diagnosed with anything. It's just, I can definitely tell when I eat it.
You like swell up?
Yeah, I get a weird rash too. I get a rash under my eyes on top of my cheeks, and my joints hurt really bad. Like my wrists and hands hurt really bad.
I would get a rash every time I got my COVID shot.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. And I didn't put it together. I got the first one, and then it started kind of like right after. Oh shit. Okay. That's really loud. Sorry. And then it would be on my eyelids.
Uh-huh.
So my eyes would swell. One patch on my forehead, like right here. And then down the right side of like my face here and this ear. And I thought it was so weird. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. I have a new rash. I didn't have like new product or anything. And then, then you get your shot again.
Yeah.
So I got the second one and flared up right away. And I went, oh my God. And what would happen is once it would flare up, it would kind of like go away. I'd put like hydrocortisone, which you're not really supposed to put on your face, but it was the only thing that would kind of get rid of it. And then it would flare up again, and it would just like come and go, and then it would subside a little bit. But then I got my booster to go to Bali, and it was instant, like the very next day. And then it was
all in the same spot.
All in the exact same spots. Yeah, because I'd heard that it would react. I mean, I don't know. There were so many rumors going around at that time, so I didn't really know. Because I got the Pfizer, but I was told that the Moderna would react with your face filler.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, I just heard that. I don't know if that's true. I am not a scientist.
I don't know if that's true. I had never heard that one.
I do not have any decent information, but I had heard that. And so I was dying because I was like, oh my God, with all the filler I have in my face. And I'm going to be a mess. Yeah. And so I was like nervous about it. They never made me sick or anything. Like my sister would get sick after she got hers. But I never got sick or anything, but yeah, that weird rash and it just started, and it would go away for like a few weeks, and then it would come back, and then it would go away and then come back. And so like the first time it did it for like a few weeks, and then the second time it did it for months. And then the third time it did it for even longer. So like not just recently, it'll be a year in August. I would say like maybe like March, it stopped. So weird. And like, if I would Google it or anything, it would just say like, oh yeah, it would just talk about like right after. It didn't talk about any long-term rashes. So I was like, I don't know. They're either hiding it from us. My conspiracy theory, they're either hiding it or, I'm completely crazy, which is also very possible.
I have heard a lot recently about, and I don't know if this is just like the algorithm, on Instagram or whatever that because I've been seeing it more, but the long-term injuries from the vaccines. Have you been seeing any of that?
No.
Where people are coming out and speaking about how they have had, like nervous system issues, heart issues, all that.
I've heard the heart one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why my nephew never got it, because he has a heart problem, and his doctor actually said, don't get it.
Really?
So he never got it. Yeah. I don't know if that's like
That's very
worldwide
interesting
thing, or I have no idea.
Well, it's interesting that was the recommendation of his doctor, because I'm sure had he gone to a different doctor,
They would have said, absolutely
get it because you're one of the people that can't get really sick from COVID, or shouldn't get really sick from COVID because of your heart problem, right? They were saying when this all first came out, it was, the people that are immunocompromised, elderly people, anybody with pre-existing conditions, 100% should get the vaccine so that they don't get as sick from COVID. That was kind of what I was hearing when it all first came out. So it's interesting that your nephew's doctor said, don't.
Yeah, he said, wait.
Just run with natural immunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's like, we're sick of talking about COVID.
I know.
There's just so many ideas about it. It's just so triggering for people. And so
it really is.
We're triggering you. We're sorry. We're just telling our experience.
We're not trying.
we're not one or the other. We're just telling our experience.
We're in no way trying to, words are hard.
Sway you.
Sway you or say that we're right or anything.
Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah,
everybody just had to get through it the best way they could.
Yeah, well, that's, I think I'm just like a very susceptibly rashy person. And my sister is the same way. One of my sisters is the same way. And then my son, my oldest son, it was so weird. When he was in middle school, he ended up, poor guy, he'd like broken his wrist. So he's like in a cast. And he had this he broke out in this horrible rash, but he was around, I would say like 11 or 12. And so, at that time you don't see it's not like you're showering your kids, like they're showering on their own. And you only kind of know what they tell you. And he didn't want to tell me he had this rash, and it had started on his like trunk. And I didn't notice it until we went somewhere and he took off his shirt to go swimming. And I was like, oh my God, like what is all over you? And they didn't look pustule, but they definitely looked almost like chicken poxy. And so I took him to the doctor. The doctor was like, oh, you need to go to the dermatologist. So we went to the dermatologist. The dermatologist says, like treats it with like steroids and stuff, like topical stuff. Anyway, it kept going for a few months, and it would seem like it was helping a little bit, and then it would spread again. And then, so by the time we figured out what it had spread. It was on his arms. It was up his neck. It wasn't on his face yet, but it was all over his leg. I mean, he was covered in it. And people,
what was it?
Well, the strange thing is we went back to the dermatologist, and then one of the doctors, like they were literally like conferring about him, like, okay, what is this? And of course I was like, of course my child has this like bizarre thing that nobody knows what it is. And, and he's embarrassed by it. I mean, he had a teacher take him out of class and like, hey, what's going on with you? Like,
is that contagious?
Poor kid. Oh, and so he still talks about it. And so it ended up, they gave him a strep test. And he had strep. And what's funny is that right before all of this had started, he had a sore throat for like a couple days, went back to school, was fine. And we didn't put it together that the bumps started right after that. So they said that some people, like most, you would know more about this than I would, but is strep a virus, bacteria?
Strep a virus.
A virus? I don't know. But anyway, when kids get sick, a lot of times there are rash, like skin components to it, but a lot of, like the majority of people don't get it. And for some reason, he will get just the skin portion of something more so than the other symptoms. So yeah, so now and it happened to him again, but he knew what it was. Like he had a sore throat.
Okay.
He started breaking out in the bumps, and he went in, and of course they were like, "No, you need this topical." He's like, "Nope, no, I need antibiotics for strep," and they gave it to him, and yeah. So,
dude, strep's a bacteria because
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, I don't think it's viral.
No.
But you're the nurse. But I have to remember you're also the hungover nurse. So.
Oh my God. Did you know that BO comes from bacteria all over the body? So why do deodorants stop at your pits? That's why we're so excited to tell you about Lumi. Lumi's founder, Dr. Shannon Klingman, met thousands of women who were concerned about odor below the belt. So she created Lumi, a pH-optimized aluminum-free deodorant that actually works and works everywhere. We're talking pits, underboobs, thigh folds, belly button, butt cracks, and feet. Lumi is perfect for everyday use and especially great for when you are on the go and need to freshen up. My favorite are the deodorant wipes. I keep them in my gym bag and use them after the gym so that I feel confident that I don't smell funky. Lumi Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. My go-to scent is clean tangerine or toasted coconut. They both smell like summer.
As a special offer to our listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with the code REPS at lumideodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit lumideodorant.com and use the code REPS.
That is crazy though. And strep is actually a really interesting bacteria because it presents differently in a lot of people. And it can make you really, really, really sick, or, it's just kind of a,
like no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like as a kid, like mono was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody would get mono, and it was like kind of like a cool thing because like everybody thought it was like for making out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like if a girl got mono, she was like instantly like, oh, she made out with somebody. It's like, no, that's not how you get it.
No.
I mean, you can get it.
I mean, you can,
yeah, but as in a kid's mind, it was like, oh, wow, she's so cool. She must have a boyfriend. She got mono.
I remember wanting to get it because you would get like weeks off of school.
Oh, my sister got it one time and her throat swelled so much. I remember this is so gross. My dad had these cups, like somebody had given him, he was super into football, and they had given him like a set of like football cups, but they had referees on them.
Uh-huh.
And they were like these plastic cups. And I just remember her not being able to swallow. She had to almost like spit, like the spit that would accumulate. She couldn't swallow it. So she would spit it into this cup. And I remember I had it was almost like a Pavlov's dog, like reaction to it. I could not look at those cups because I was like, oh my God, like I would start to like feel nauseous just by looking at them. Like please throw those away. Of course, my mom, the hoarder, would never throw anything away. So
you're like, can we please not use those for dinner?
Please not use those cups. Like, oh my God. I just like imagine this whole cup full of spit.
Oh,
disgusting.
It's making me like,
I know, sorry. We're like talking about gross things.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It actually, that reminds me when I worked on the ambulance, I had a partner that chewed dip.
Oh, uh-huh.
And he would spit it into like soda cans or pretty much anything that he could find, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is so disgusting. I don't even know if I can say it out loud. I think we both had sodas, and
no, I can
had
already
the center console. And it hit my lips, and then I spit it out. I didn't actually swallow it.
Oh, good. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I went to take a big drink out of like a soda can, and it was his dip.
Oh,
so anything
is so gross anyway. I mean, just to know that it was already in his mouth.
It's so disgusting. Anything with like spitting like that in a cup, I'm always like,
you know, the reactions that you have, it is interesting. I'd be interested to hear what our listeners, like what they have like a response to, like that same. I mean, I know like a lot of pregnant women. Like for me, I drank Earl Grey tea in the early stages of my pregnancy when I was super sick, and I can't. And I love black tea, but I'll drink like English breakfast, and people will know that I like black tea and they'll get me Earl Grey. And if I even like smell it, I like instantly feel sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
I knew a girl that stayed in bed for most of her pregnancy, and she had to get rid of her comforter.
Oh, really?
Because her comforter, looking at it would make her nauseous.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The human brain is very, very interesting.
I wore, with Steven, when I was pregnant with Steven, Faith, like, I didn't have anything that lasted. I could not look at or eat chicken during my pregnancy with her.
Oh,
like absolutely not chicken. Just it grossed me out. But that went away after I had her. But with Steven, when I was in my early pregnancy, I wore this Chanel perfume called Chance.
I
cannot smell it anymore. It's and my friend actually yesterday had it on, and I was like, "What are you wearing?" And she goes, "It's Chance by Chanel." I was like, "It smells really good on you." I hope she doesn't listen to this.
You're like wanting to barf.
It smells really good on you. I'm gonna go sit over there.
Oh,
yeah, it is interesting how smells and different things trigger you even years later, 20 years later, 30 years later.
Oh yeah. For me, I think it's just a forever thing. I have so many mental issues with eating, not eating, but like things to eat. Like I'm like the pickiest person. And what's weird is I don't know. I mean, again, not a scientist. But I think it has to do almost with the way you're raised also, because all of my sisters and I, all four of us, none of us eat seafood. I think one of them has started to eat like a little bit, like can eat like shrimp and stuff, but don't eat seafood. You know, like my sister the other day, I make her lunches because I go to work, and so I've been like meal prepping for my daughter and for my sister. And I take it in, and she goes, and I have to cut her chicken, and I'm the same way. So what's funny is that, sorry, now I'm like going in circles. My friend Daniel has made fun of me for years, for like 10 years, about all my picky eating things. Like I can eat chicken, but it has to be a certain thickness. It can't, it can't have any of the gobbly bits on it or the goobly gobbly things on it.
Yeah.
I always think of like, I always go, oh, that's like a knuckle. Get the knuckle. Like I can't. Yeah. I just can't do it. It has to be thin. It has to be cooked a certain way. And so he's like, oh my God, you're so annoying. And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, some health issues, blah, blah. And so I'm like really hard to go out to eat with and like share food with, because there's so many things that I won't eat and all that. And so recently making food for Michaela, she's the exact same way. She's like, I couldn't eat the chicken. It was too thick and it had the parts on it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I should know this. I'm the same way. So I was like, no problem. So I made her food the other night, and I brought it to her, and she was like, thank you so much. Cause I've told her a million times, like, if you don't like something, you need to tell me. or else I'm going to keep making it. Right.
Right.
And so she goes, I'm so sorry to say this, but when you made the broccoli, you gave me I got all stalks. I didn't get the tops, and I only eat the tops. I was like, my initial reaction was like, weirdo. Okay. But I was like, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't realize that about you, Jeanna. I knew you had like that you didn't like seafood and that there was like some preparation, like you were kind of weirded out by like preparation. Like you kind of have to know who made it and
Yes.
all that, right?
Yeah, just keep adding to the list, Deb. Keep adding to the list.
Realize you had like all these little idiosyncrasies.
Oh yeah,
like
no, I can't eat.
How did you do in Bali? Because
I didn't do well in Bali.
It was weird.
I ate a lot of rice.
Yeah,
and the problem is that the problem is my face. I can't help. I'm a child. So like when I look at something, I have to like tell myself, like, especially if I'm at somebody's house and they've made food, like to not do like like a face at it. Right. And Daniel dies because I mean, even like the airplane food or anything, I'm like picking through it and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? And it was like one of the meals they gave us on the plane, I think I talked about it before, was like, and I think it's a very common breakfast over there, is I want to say it was like rice and eggs and chicken.
Okay.
I can't eat chicken and eggs together. I don't want to eat a mama and a baby at the same time. And I don't know why it matters to me. But I cannot do it. Like I can't. Yeah. I have lots of issues. I can't. Yeah. I'm just definitely not adventurous. I don't like vegetables. I have a palate of, I have a palate of a 5-year-old.
But you guys go out to dinner all the time.
I know. And I just pick and choose what I want to eat of it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to remember that next time you guys come to town to visit. I'm going to be like, oh.
I mean, I can always find something to eat.
No, I'll be like, so Jeanna, you get to make your own dinner.
I know. I'm a pain in the ass. And I always feel bad about it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I know. But it really is like, it's a physical reaction. It's not just like, I don't like that. I mean, it's weird because when you say you don't like something, people want you to try it the way they made it. So like seafood for me has been a nightmare my whole life because I have never liked it. And I'll keep trying it because people go, oh no, you haven't had it the way I make it. And no, it's so done. I'm like, nope, still tastes like salmon.
Yeah.
Oh no, but it's probably because it's too fishy. I'm like, nope, I think I have like I almost like would love to go and I don't know, be hypnotized or something, so that I didn't get so physically ill from, I mean, even my poor ex-husband, like when we were together 25 years, if he rarely ate seafood because he knew I hated it. I never made it. I think I made it a couple times trying to like make it for the kids and stuff. And interestingly enough, all 4 of my kids eat way better than I do. So like they were always exposed to it. But in our household, my dad would always talk about how gross things were.
Oh.
And so I don't know if it's that in my head. I mean, my youngest sister has never liked meat at all. Like she's a vegetarian, but not because of any other reason, health reasons or whatever.
Grosses her out.
It just grosses her out. So she doesn't eat any meat at all. But yeah, I think he would say how gross things were and it just fucked us up.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you, like, did your parents eat seafood or prepare seafood?
My mom eats anything. I mean, my mom used to make, I don't know why anybody would make their children. And I know it was like, maybe like that era, liver and onions.
Oh, my grandma.
My mom would make the grossest stuff. And she was such she was doing exactly what she thought was like healthy for her kids. She was very into, natural foods and all that and eating well, but she would make us eat things that we didn't like. Like I've always told my kids, like, try it. If you don't like it, don't eat it.
Right.
Because I couldn't stand the fact that I was like, I mean, I would sit for hours at the dinner table until I finished my food. And like, I don't like raw tomatoes, but also, and that's also a weird thing because I can eat like bruschetta, I can eat salsa, spaghetti sauce, like cooked tomatoes, but I just don't like raw, like plain tomatoes, like in a salad or sandwich or whatever.
Right, me either.
Yeah. Okay. So my mom would put, and none of us girls did. My mom would make a salad and she would put because she had 4 children, 4 cherry tomatoes in it so that she knew if we ate our tomato. And if you didn't eat it, I would sit there crying until for hours.
Like, I don't want to eat the tomato.
And then you like all 4 of us are like gagging it, like, and I just swore, I was like, I will never make my kids do that. It's just it's like torturing, absolute torture.
My mom has a story about her parents did that to her, and it was Brussels sprouts.
Oh,
and she had to sit there and wait to eat these Brussels sprouts, or she had to sit there until she ate them, I guess. And they were cold and, hours.
And probably slimy because everything they made back then was like boiled.
Yeah.
So probably just slimy, stinky. I mean, it smells like a fart. Why do you want to eat it?
And I don't think she ate Brussels sprouts for years, not until they kind of like made a comeback and now they're yummy with goat cheese and, balsamic.
Right. Yeah. Or, you roast them or air fry them. Right. Yeah. I just made some last night. My whole house probably still smells like it. I like to cook it for a group so I can mask my gas, just really farting while I'm cooking.
Oh, that's an excellent idea.
I'm just kidding. See, I'm weird about that too. I used to think forever when somebody would like, I would smell that somebody had farted. Mm-hmm. I would cover my drink because I thought the poo particles were going to land in my drink.
Never mind that they already went up your nose. That's how you smell it.
I know. And my whole like nasal passage is connected to my mouth. And I don't know. It's none of the things. I mean, I say these things out loud and I would every single time I'd cover my drink like, oh, that smells bad. Huh?
Well,
no, of course not. That's my own body. Yeah, no, of course not. Totally fine eating my own parts.
I'm totally fine eating my own shit.
Just nobody else.
Not yours. I draw the line at yours.
Nobody else. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, the whole, when it started, it wasn't even when I was like a little kid. It was Jordan's biological grandma would take him and I remember he came home. She would always fill his head full of like all this like weird stuff. And he came home one day and he went straight to the bathroom and he took his because we had their toothbrushes like in a little holder on the counter. And he took his toothbrush out of the holder and put it in the drawer. It was like not even like, hi, mommy, nothing. Just ran straight to the bathroom and put his toothbrush in the drawer. And I went, babe, what are you doing? He was like, there's poo particles on my toothbrush. And I said, what? And he goes, I go, why? And he goes, well, Nana says that every
doing with it.
Yeah. Nana says that every time we flush the toilet, if my toothbrush is out, there's poo particles that get on my toothbrush. And I went, is that true? And I remember, I think it started after that. I was like, looking out for poo particles.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so funny. Is that true?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've never I don't think I really Googled it at the time. I just was like, oh, wow. Like, I mean, probably. Yeah. I mean, I think they say that like when you flush the toilet, like it has like a certain radius that it can go.
I mean,
I don't know.
sense, I guess.
I was laughing about something. Oh God, I wish I could remember what it was. Oh, I was talking. I don't like used books.
Mm-hmm. What?
Because I don't know what the person was doing that was reading it. And
They were in the bathroom?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this person like library books and stuff. And like used bookstores have a different smell. Kind of like the Goodwill has a different smell, but like with the Goodwill, if you get to like, we were just there like getting something for like a costume party, and you can wash it before you wear it. You don't just like go and throw it on, and or maybe you do, and that's fine. But I was like, but for books, I was like, oh man, those things have got to be filthy.
I mean, I never thought about that, but you're right.
Right. But I was laughing about, I mean, again, it's like, how everybody has like their own set of rules for themselves. And a lot of times they make zero sense. And I believe me, if you guys are listening and thinking I'm absolutely crazy, I am. But I'm also aware that the things that I hold really, strongly to don't make sense necessarily, because the doorknobs I touch are probably more disgusting. My phone's probably more disgusting than a library book. But for some reason, I just don't think of it in those terms.
Yeah.
It's very odd. Or, like, have you ever like opened up a used book and there's a weird smudge?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but it's honestly, I've never thought about it.
Yeah, people are always like, oh, you can borrow this book. And I'm like, ooh. And I kind of like pick and choose by like whether or not I think they're clean. And this is the thing, guys, I'm not the cleanest person. I don't want to be judged by that. But yeah, it's like I'm living to my own set of ideals and rules.
You're like, I'm good with some people's filth, not with
not other people's. Sharing drinks. Ugh. I never even shared drinks. I mean, like, my own daughter took a bite off my sandwich yesterday, who is cleaner than I am. I mean, she's like always washing her hands and always, up on her dentist appointments and all this stuff, brushes her teeth. And she took a bite of my sandwich. I asked her, I said, do you want to try it? And she said, yeah. But there's a part of me, like, as I go in for that next bite that was like right where she ate it, I'm like, I have to talk myself through it.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's okay.
It's okay. You're going to get through this.
When Brooke told me she used my toothbrush, it was after I used it. I was like, okay, I know this person. I know she's clean. It's okay. I mean, there's very few people that I would be like, oh, okay, this is okay. But, our friend Courtney, she'll like drink off anybody's drink. I mean, like during COVID, she was getting it all the time. she was just, yeah, we'd be like, of course, Courtney's gone down again. I mean, whose drink is she drinking? Like, she's like, oh, that's mine. Okay. So I've definitely gotten better as I've gotten older. But I mean, like, I'm in my 50s and I'm still this nuts. So
we love you, even though you're neurotic.
That's exactly the word for it. I am neurotic.
That's so funny. Are you weird about the gym, the equipment at the gym? I always got kind of spooked with equipment at the gym.
I was never, okay, I'll be honest. Like, I mean, like, as far as like through the pandemic and everything, I was never, I know this sounds
I just mean like in general.
Oh yeah. No, you were saying, I thought you said just like recently. I'm very particular about, whose equipment I'll use after. I tend to, I wipe things down. I don't always wipe them down before, but I always clean up after myself, but I always wash my hands a few times in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I never like leave the gym without washing my hands.
Right.
Yeah. Because I'm also, I have this awful habit of putting my fingers in my mouth.
What do you mean?
Well, like, like you get like, yeah, I just make faces with my fingers. No, like if I get like a hangnail or something, I'll like talk myself out of it. Like I'll like find myself like kind of like biting on my nail or something. And I'll be like, oh my God, what did I just eat? I'm a big tongue scraper. Constantly scraping my tongue. I'm probably not going to have
you and Brooke got me into that.
Oh, I mean, it's the best thing, but like, I probably do it too much. Like I've literally like rubbed like a raw spot on my tongue before. Yeah.
Get all those out.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, you see what comes off on those things and you're like, whoa, nasty.
This is not what I thought we were going to talk about today.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I know. Hey guys, if you have any like really neurotic tendencies, please write in to betweenthereps@gmail.com so that we can discuss them, because I would love to know that I have company in my, with my neurotic behavior.
Yeah. I would love to read some of them.
Yeah.
I bet we get some good ones.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we were going to read that one email.
Okay. So we need to first preface this because we don't. Okay.
You do it.
No. You do it. I want you to explain it without saying any of the buzzwords. Because because everyone's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'll preface it with this. We got this email and I read the email and I instantly texted Brooke and Devon and we're like, did you guys read this email? So this person wrote in, and we're so grateful when people write in, and like, honestly, like usually, except for this instance, is a very non-judgmental. We don't get like, we usually get like very sincere or goofy or funny, or, like we're not upset by being crude. Obviously it's us. But we got this email, and this email was so out of left field, but also disturbing. Mm-hmm. Very long. And I just basically said, please read this email. And now you guys are probably like, please read the email. But the only reason I'm not going to read the email is because Devon had this really great, and it may not be this, because I'm just going to say this. I know I'm being so cryptic right now. If you wrote this email, if you're listening to this, and this email is legit, and you really were wondering all these questions, you need help. You need help.
Psychiatric help. Your partner needs to move far, far away from you.
Yes. And they were talking, and basically this person is talking about how they're having a baby. And all I kept thinking was like, oh my God, this person's going to have a baby. Like, if this is legit. So, and again, but then Devon had another idea of like what may be happening and why this person wrote this in. So I'll give it to you, Dev. You can say like some of it. I just don't. So this person, go ahead.
Well, what Jeanna's trying to say is that we don't want to feed a fetish.
Yes.
If that's what this was, because Jeanna read it and was alarmed. I read it and was like, this can't be real. This is probably a grown man sitting in a diaper, like with a very, very way too much time on his hands, and a real weird kink.
Yeah.
So we're not going to read it because we didn't want to feed that, especially because it was kind of alarming.
Yes.
And so wacky. So, we probably shouldn't have even brought it up then, Jeanna.
Well, no, only reason I'm bringing it up. So this person basically kept talking about this baby that's coming, and when is it appropriate to do this thing with a baby? And it's not sexual.
It wasn't sexual,
but it was very specific. And the words that were being used were like 5 different words for this one thing. And they must have mentioned it at least like 10 times. I mean, I don't even know how many times. It was paragraphs. And it was bizarre. And so that's why I would say if this is real, I'm just wondering where this person is coming from psychologically. But when Devon brought that up, I was like, oh my God, we got to read this. This is like the most bizarre thing. Now everyone's like, well, fuck, now we want to know what it was.
Right.
What was it?
But I did. So when you and I were kind of going back and forth, I don't even know if Brooke's read it yet. Completely.
Yeah, I don't know either.
She told me to read it to her, and I was like, I don't want to.
It's so long.
But I did look at his email address, and I'm not going to say it, but it's his name and then XXX.
I don't know what that means.
Well, like X-rated.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, so I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's real.
Yeah.
If I was concerned, if like you and I were both concerned, I would probably report it to the police or something. I don't know. I don't know.
But
I don't think it's real.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that was interesting. So if you guys have like some real emails you want us to answer, we would love that.
We would love that.
Please write in. I mean, to be honest, the fact that that's like the only really weird email we've gotten is probably it's a testament to our listeners.
I agree.
As a whole,
I agree.
Because we usually get really good, heartfelt, funny, lovely.
Or funny.
Yes. Yeah. We have listeners with really good senses of humor.
I should actually go back because before I joined you guys, this was like a couple years ago, my friend Tracy wrote in.
Oh.
And she had a question about, I still remember it too, because I was like, she sent it to me and asked me if she should send it to you guys. I said, absolutely.
Did we answer it?
It was no, you never did, but I should pull it up and we can answer it one day. About queefing during your workouts.
Oh, interesting that you brought this up. I have not.
Mm-hmm.
And that I don't know. I mean, I think I have a theory why I have not. I'm not really good at engaging my core. I'm kind of like a wet noodle when I work out. And I think it's why I hurt my back in the first place. Brooke is so, she knows how to engage all of her muscles and, I mean, she's kind of an anomaly more so, right. But most people, I would assume that, the constant contracting of your abdominals could create that sort of thing to happen. Mm-hmm. But since I don't do that, since I don't work out right, that has not happened to me. Okay. But it's funny because there was someone at our gym recently that was saying that they couldn't do handstand push-ups.
Because of that?
They do them, but right. she didn't want to do them around anybody or like with the music off. Cause like sometimes they train on their own and, she didn't do that because that happens.
That was the movement Tracy was talking about in her email.
Yes.
Crazy.
So yeah, I think
go back and find it.
And that kind of makes sense, right? I mean, you're yeah.
I mean, I don't work out very much at all.
I can't do handstand push-ups. So
I can't do handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I know.
Like, how do you, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no. So that was recently. And I was like, oh no, I mean, I've heard of other people doing that. That totally makes sense. But her whole thing was like, I'm not farting.
Right.
But it sounds like it. But then I don't want to explain what's really happening.
I think farting might be less uncomfortable.
I don't know. I don't know what's better. I mean, bodily functions are just, they can be embarrassing regardless. I mean, some people, like my youngest daughter, don't give a shit.
Really?
Oh my, she's so embarrassing.
Really?
I don't know where she gets it from. I mean, I guess I'm willing to talk about things on here, but like I would be mortified if I farted in front of somebody or was like, yeah, hey, can I go to the bathroom? I got to take I got diarrhea. Like she's so open about anything going on. She has like a new boyfriend. Okay, you guys, Ruby got rid of her last boyfriend. Thank the Lord.
God.
Thank the Lord. She, of course,
She was with him for a while.
She was with him for like 2.5 years. And it's, if there's moms out there that have kids that are dating or older kids or whatever, I was so lucky with the older 3 where they're all with people that I really, really love. I mean, nobody's perfect. But they're all really good people. And this kid, as a mom, you can just tell, like, he just was a little bit, I was kind of worried for the future of like with the controlling behavior and the codependency and all of that kind of stuff with where that was going to go. And I want to be careful. I don't want to like slander the kid. It's not like anybody knows him, but he was aggressive and I was concerned about her safety down the line. Emotionally, maybe physically, I don't know. So luckily she was smart enough to dump him. And the one nice thing about Ruby is when she makes her mind up, she's done. And I think that she knew that there was something going on with him for a while because, and I'll tell you the story why, but she didn't want to face it because she wasn't ready for it to be done. And she's the kind of person that once she makes up her mind, it's done.
That's so great.
No, it is great. It is great. I just wish that, she hadn't waited that whole extra year. But so I finally she had kind of told me what happened and I'm not going to go into all of it. But there was, some odd behavior on his phone. And so I was talking to her the other day and I said, so how did you realize, like when did it get so bad? She goes, Mom, he started, and this is so weird. I mean, it's a huge red flag. He started putting his phone under the fitted mattress, like not the fitted sheet when they would go to bed at night because they were living together.
Right.
So it wasn't even that he just kept his phone with him. He was putting it underneath the fitted sheet and then sleeping on top of it. And I guess he was like changing his passcode and, her, unfortunately, because she's, was so young when she met him, is kind of like her first true boyfriend. It was full of like, she was codependent and jealous and, it kind of bleeds into both personalities. Right. I mean, it's like this relationship's so toxic. Yeah. And so, and I only laugh about it because my daughter, she cracks me up and I go, so like, how did you end up finding all this stuff on his phone if he was changing his passcode and sleeping on his phone? She goes, well, I was finally like, I didn't want to know, but like, I need to know. And he was in the shower. And I said, well, how the hell did you get into his phone? She goes, and she says it like this. She goes, I put my face on his Face ID like a year ago. Like a little psycho. What? You can do that? She goes, oh yeah, you can add Face IDs and people won't even know it. Like you can add multiple.
Shut up.
Yeah. So like if you left your phone open, somebody could add their face to your Face ID. Oh. Yeah. So and she hadn't used it yet. So she used it while he was in the shower. And I go, so you obviously knew things were bad like a year ago.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, I had an idea. I just didn't want to know. And but she had the forethought to put her face because she's a little psychopath.
Okay, listeners.
And yeah, so now you know.
Idea.
Well, I mean, I think the idea is that if you feel that the need to do that, that's probably a huge, well, you either have some trust issues, maybe that came from somewhere else, may not be your partner. But you should also recognize that it's probably not a good space to be in if that's what you're resorting to.
Right.
But I would also say beware if you have a partner
if you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. But yeah, she opened it up, man, and she found a lot of stuff and it was pretty bad. But as horrible as, that situation was for her, it's unfortunate, but I think it's what needed to happen for her to finally, she'd been putting up with so much. You never want to see your child go through something like that. It was really, really hard to watch her go through. But I guess the bright side is that it was bad enough that she got out. And now, of course, she has this new boyfriend and he's awesome.
Is he?
He's really awesome. Good. Yeah. Yeah. So good. I feel like I'm 4 for 4 now.
Okay.
With the kids. I mean, so far, it's pretty new.
Well, I was just going to say, we'll see how he
yeah, no, they've been seeing each other for a few months now, and he's super respectful. He's, she seems happier. She's actually hanging out with her friends again. He's very, wants her to have her independence, encourages her. She's back on track with wanting, career wise. And she's just in a much better place, which I would prefer her find that on her own without somebody. But if it takes that encouragement, then, it's better than nothing. And my ex knows him really well. He worked for him for a while. And so he knows him pretty well, like his work ethic and the kind of person that he is, and grew up with his dad actually. So knows the parents really well and the family. And so yeah, it's
does he like him? Is he like,
oh, he loves him.
He's a good kid.
I mean, Ruby jokes that he takes his calls before hers.
Okay.
She's like, I'll call dad and then he won't answer. And then, her guy will call and then he picks right up.
That's so funny.
I know. So no, he seems like a really good guy. I mean, they're so young.
Yeah.
They're like in their early 20s,
Yeah.
It's, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, another learning lesson, move on. So
exactly. I mean, that's all relationships are until you end up making the commitment to get married.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you want your
what you don't.
Well, and I kind of feel like, at least for me with my kids, I've always, because the other 3 kids all have had their spouses now are people that they've been with forever. Since right out of high school or, not too far after that. And now they're in their 30s and getting married. So they waited a long time and were with each other a long time, which I think is important to kind of figure out like who the heck you are before you get married. So I'm really happy that they did that. And at least that's an example for Ruby to not feel like she, you guys can just be together for a while before you just rush into that,
Yeah.
I think it's weird when parents get super involved because I've known other parents that, are like encouraging their kids to get married early or, when are you going to have babies and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? Like,
right.
Like, why would you encourage that?
I don't know.
It's so weird, or get involved in their relationships. And, oh, there's a guy blowing my deck right now. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for the blow, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for the blow, buddy. Sorry. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Can you hear it?
A little bit. It's not bad.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so it's just I don't know, like, even as my kids, like when they were with someone for a while, I never tried to be like best friends with the parents of the other kid. I feel like that just creates a whole issue. I understand like wanting to know like where your kid's at or getting to know them, but for me, I like just keeping those relationships kind of at a distance so that we don't get wrapped up in the kids' relationship.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I haven't. Well, Faith's been with Neil now for over 2 years.
I was going to say, it's been a while.
Yeah, he was her first boyfriend. But his family's in Texas and his mom isn't involved. He was long story short, his grandma and grandpa are who he's close with. And I would love, like, both Faith and Neil always say, like, you will love Pam. His grandma's name. And I'm like, I'm sure I will. I will. But, you know.
Yeah. Just not now.
Right. But Pam is, you know, she'll be there.
Yeah. You could be friendly, not friends. You know? Yeah.
And then Steven's just, you know, he's had his couple of girlfriends, but it's kind of a rotating door. So I haven't had that experience yet with other parents.
Yeah. Well, and I've been really lucky too, because all of the kids, like who they're married to, I wouldn't say like we're like close, but like I like them.
Yeah.
You know, like I've had them for dinner and stuff like that, like on occasion. And, you know, you run in, well, now with a grandbaby, I'm going to run into like, you know, Joey's wife's parents more and more and really like them. But, you know, everybody kind of has their own lives and stuff. So, you know.
It's a trip.
It is a trip. Life is a trip.
Our kids are old enough to be doing that now.
I know.
Right?
I know. Anyway. All right. Well, we should maybe wrap this up.
I know. We've been chatting for a long time.
I know.
We covered a lot of ground. If you're still listening, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And please write in. If you have any thoughts, comments, I don't know, suggestions.
Tell us all of your neurotic behavior.
Yes. Yeah.
We want to know.
We want to know. All right, guys.
That you stuck with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Don't forget to
rate, review, subscribe, 5-star
rating, 5-star warning. And we'll get back to you guys next week.
See you next week. Brooke will be with us next week.
Brooke will be with us.